Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Today we're going to be following Nova Oktay, and he has been using an incredible new meta deck. I can't wait to share this one with you guys. Now, like yours truly, you might not have your Hunter either unlocked or leveled up right now, but I still think this deck is worth checking out, at least in terms of seeing what the future might hold for us in terms of new meta decks once people start getting their Hunter leveled up and unlocked. So this is going to be the deck that we cover. You can see using two of the buff cards and one of the new cards. So there's Prince, there's Guards, and there's Hunter. And I said it was a Golem deck, but it also has Miner. And notice, no Elixir Pump. So there's a lot of things going on here. We'll get into the deck tips, but basically I'm taking these replays from yesterday's tournament. Oktay ended up finishing 4th overall. I do have the #1 deck played by CMcHugh as well. I will be sharing that either in a video tomorrow or the day after. So subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff to make sure that you don't miss that video. So let's go ahead and talk about this deck. It is a heavy deck. I mean, it has the 5 Elixir, obviously it has the 8 Elixir Golem, it has the 5 Elixir Prince. You might be thinking to yourself, where the heck are the spells? Well, there's only one spell in this deck. It is the 8th and final card. Okay, you guys probably saw on the overlay. It's arrows. So arrows are your only spell in this deck. Other than that, you're going to be relying on cards to do the bulk of your defense and offense and supporting your big fat golem. So look at the deck, by the way, that we're going against here. I didn't really get a chance to play-by-play on this first match, but it's a giant skeleton barrel deck. Now, before you guys say, oh, whatever, dude, it's just a random deck that guy must have been trying out, Zode here on the top was also top 10 for quite a while in this tournament. These replays are coming at the end of the tournament, not towards the beginning. So players at the top here obviously are having some success with this deck. I was actually able to catch a few of Zode's replays, and they were really good. He was really strong with this deck, so don't hold this loss against this very interesting Guards, Giant Skeleton Barrel deck. I first recorded this replay, actually, thinking that I might be doing the video on the deck at the top. However, Oktay was just unstoppable. He lost one match towards the end against Lavaloon, and that loss is what caused him not to get top 3 and come away with $100. Because as you can see, if you pause and read the description, this was one of my bounties that I do after all new cards are released, where I give somebody $100 if they can finish top 3 using Hunter or Zappies, $200 if they can finish with both. So I do these tournaments every single time after the updates hit with new cards in them. Maybe I'll find new and fun ways. Maybe some of you guys have a good idea. How can I incorporate more fun contests and let you guys know about it? Some of you might not be aware, but YouTube has added a community tab. A community tab where I can actually post to you guys. You'll get like a notification. I think it's targeted notifications, but maybe that ought to be the way that I do these tournaments, so that way you guys, my subscribers, who mean the most to me, no offense Twitter followers, but you guys are really the most important. You're what makes me continue every single day. Man, I'm getting way off topic here, but maybe I can include you guys in on some of these tournaments. So anyway, CMcHugh was the only player to walk away with $100 from yesterday's tournament. Again, that deck, it was a Miner Hunter deck, not a Miner Hunter Golem deck, though, will be shared in tomorrow's video. So some of you might be asking, what if I don't have Hunter, and what if I don't have Miner? So let's talk about viable substitutions here. So if you don't have Hunter, you could, of course, just throw in another spell, such as Poison if you wanted to, even Fireball if you wanted to, so you have 2 spells in this deck. You could also sub in Executioner, which obviously is kind of a natural substitution for the Hunter because he has that splash damage. The benefit the Executioner has that the Hunter doesn't have is that his axe slices through targets, right? Whereas the Hunter, if let's picture a Knight is coming at you as well as a Goblin Gang. Well, the Knight's gonna block the shots, and the Goblin Gang's gonna stay alive. We're actually gonna see that in the next replay. So let's kind of focus on the replays a bit here, and we'll talk about the interactions. However, your subs would be, again, you could use Knight if you wanted to for Miner. You could even get super crazy and go Hog Rider, or you could add a spell for the miner, or of course you could go ahead and add a add Knight like we mentioned earlier. So let's get back to the replays here. He's going against this really interesting, but it's been around for a while, but this really strong, I should say, not interesting, strong, Cannon Cart Ice Wizard Hog Rider deck. And you can see he's using Miner very, very often defensively against this deck. Notice the tactical decisions that Oktay makes in these matches, guys. Sometimes a few of you guys have commented that you do this before, and I take absolutely no offense to it. But sometimes when I'm rambling on like I was towards the beginning of this video, well, it's better to mute me and just pay attention to the gameplay, because my channel features 90% pro players, and it's worth paying really attention to why are they making the decisions that they do. In other words, just paying attention and thinking to yourself, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Think to yourself, okay, what would I play here? And then look to see what what decision the pro makes. And how does it jive with the decision that you would have made? So that's something that I like to kind of do when I'm watching these replays myself, and I would suggest you guys do the same. What an ending there, what a monster push, and what good awareness on Oktay's part that he was aware that his opponent didn't have enough elixir left to defend, so he kept spamming those guards, and then those minions at the bridge to follow up, just basically causing the opponent to run out of elixir to defend. Okay, this matchup, I believe, is against Bait. You know, as fate would have it, we went up against a variety of different types of decks, which was great because it shows you guys how to counter a variety of different decks using this monster golem deck. So you can see right off the bat, arrows are going to be saved for the Goblin Barrel here. We also have a couple other weapons we can use, guards, and look at that, guys, exactly what I'm talking about on the Hunter. That's definitely one of his weaknesses. He can't shoot through the Knight like the Executioner would to get the Princess. Instead, the Knight actually blocks the Princess there and keeps her alive, forcing Oktay to have to use guards. So now getting a little bit of damage here with the Miner on that right tower. However, early on, things are pretty much neck and neck. Now remember, Oktay's deck has the advantage in double elixir time. When you guys are playing this deck at home, you should be trying to preserve yourself for double elixir time. This is a very heavy deck, so you can rely mainly on the Miner and the minions and chip damage and playing smart defense in the first 2 minutes, unless you get an opportune time, a positive elixir advantage. By the way, look on the right, guys. Look on the right. Look right now. See? That's what I'm talking about. It was a Hunter versus a Knight and Goblin Gang, and your opponent with a Knight and Goblin Gang is going to win that battle, and he got a lot of damage on that right tower. So remember to keep that in mind when you're using the Hunter, that he's not the same as the Executioner, okay? You're going to use him in different ways. He's still a strong card. He costs 1 less. However, he doesn't have the same exact versatility as does the Executioner. Now check this out on that left tower, getting a lot of damage. We're not going to get the tower down, but getting a lot of damage off of it here with that Prince, minions, and Golem attack. So you saw that in this matchup, we hit pretty early, Oktay, with the Golem. However, that's not always going to be the case. Oftentimes, against most decks, unless you can manufacture that positive elixir advantage, you're going to be holding off probably to double elixir time, or at least close to, around the halfway point in the match, to drop your Golem. Why is that the case? Because you can easily recoup the elixir to defend afterwards. You're not so susceptible to a quick opponent punish after you drop that Golem. So here comes the Golem on the left, predicting the Goblin Gang, but just a hair too early there on those arrows. We are going to get a bit of chip damage from the Miner, but check out those 2 Golemites. 2 Golemites with 366 damage left on the tower. Guess what, guys? That's going to take down the tower every time. So never, never underestimate your own Golemites because of their death damage and their hits. They're able to do like almost 400 damage to a tower at tournament level standard. Oftentimes, and you saw this on the previous match, oftentimes a Golem at full health, I think it was, yeah, they dropped the giant skeleton on the Golem the very first match in that right lane there. Did some of you guys notice that? And Oktay was able to not support that Golem whatsoever. The Golem by himself took down the tower against the giant skeleton. Instead, we went hard in the opposite lane. That's a pro play that you guys can use at home too. If your opponent commits a little bit on defense, or, you know, 6 elixir, that's a solid commitment in the giant skeleton. Well, you can go hard opposite lane and then just see what your opponent does. Sometimes you'll get both towers down. So here we go. Now it's going to be a Prince against that Battle Ram as well as minions in the left lane. We're obviously going against a new meta, old meta 3 Musketeer deck. I say new meta because there have been guards added to the mix there. Look at this. 2 guards and 1 minion against that tower. That's going to be an extra 400, 500 damage. Thank you very much. Be very careful, especially if guards are being used against you guys, because guards and even 1 minion or even just 2 guards with their shields left can do a lot of damage on your tower. It's not like goblins. They do much more damage because of those shields. You have to answer 3 guards coming down the lane, as you can see right here in the right. And of course, as I say, you have to answer it. This is a beatdown deck. Cut the tape. Cut the tape. So he does end up taking all that damage on the right lane. And that's actually a really smart move, because A, it's beatdown, and in B, he's going against a 3 Musketeer deck. Against 3 Musketeer decks, you guys know they don't have any big spells, so you want them to split your damage. So watch how Oktay handles the rest of this matchup here. It's going to be very noteworthy how to handle a 3 Musketeer matchup when you have this deck. So we have 1552 damage on our right tower. We have 704 damage left, HP left on our left tower. So how the heck are we going to make this comeback? It's very, very telling to see how he plays this. Excuse me. The opponent opts to pump in the back. So we're going to go ahead and respond with a golem of our own in the back of the tower. And then knowing that the opponent is playing 3 Musketeers, we're going to go same lane as the 2 Musketeers, and we're going to go super, super heavy here. So we're just going to keep stacking troops, but we want to wait till that zap is out of hand before we drop, of course, the guards. So we send in instead the miner, and then we use arrows, and now we're dropping our minions. So basically what we're doing here is just going all out in that left lane. We took that single damage of the Musketeer in the right lane, and that's going to be all she wrote, guys. We take out basically all the defending troops. We leave Daniel Tor here very, very low in elixir, and as a matter of fact, we're going to be able to secure the 3 crown, I think, here. The Hunter is still alive. There's 2 princes on the tower. This is going to be a 3 crown. He had nothing to do but laugh and give a thumbs up. Good sport by Daniel. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this new meta Golem Hunter deck. A real pleasure bringing it to you. Stay tuned for tons of good content. I have more content than I know what to do with right now. So guys, certainly stay tuned for it. I really appreciate the support. Huge shout out to my YouTube partner, Bren Chong. Check out his information in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.